Hello. Today I'm going to tell you the story of Tom Thumb. Once upon a time, there was this lonely couple that lived in the woods. And sitting by the roaring flames of the fire one night, the man poking the fire, just thinking of how lonely they are. And he says to his wife, "You know, all those neighbors, they have so many kids and their houses are so loud and they're all so happy. But here, we're just so quiet and lonely." And to this, the wife's like, "I know what you mean. If we had but one son, and if he was even the size of our thumbs, it would make our lives so much happier." And well, what do you know? She got what she wished for. Not so long after, they ended up with a son the size of their thumbs. What do you know? So one day, the dad wanted to cut some wood in the forest, but he realizes he has no one to get the wood for the cart for him. And upon this, he's so sad, and Tom sees this, and he's like, "Dad, I can take it. All we have to do is have Mom put me in the horse's ear, and I can tell him which way to go." And the dad's reluctant at first, but he's like, "Alright, we'll let you try this one time, and we'll see what happens." So, the mother puts him in the horse's ear, and they clippity-clop off with Tom yelling, "Turn left, go straight here, that a boy." So, as they're going along, clippity-cloppeting, two men on the street overhear this, and they see this horse and cart, but there's no one driving it. So they follow it to see where it goes, because of course they're confused and they want to know what happens. And when they all arrive at the destination, the two men see Tom's dad pluck him out of the ear and set him down. And at first, they're amazed to see someone this little, but them being men looking for a profit always, they come up with an idea. They decide that they'll buy Tom and they'll take him to the city and put him on exhibit and make people pay to see him as if he was a circus exhibit. And so they ask the father, "Hey, can we buy this man?" And Tom's dad at first is like, "Oh no, not my own flesh and blood. This is my son you're talking about here." But Tom goes up to his dad and he's like, "Dad, I want to see the world. Let me go. I'll be back soon. I promise." And he doesn't really want to, but he goes along with Tom's wishes, and he sells them. So, the men take Tom off, and Tom, he goes, "Hey, can I ride on top of your hat so I can see what's going on in the world as we go along?" And they're like, "Alright." Eventually, Tom goes, "I'm tired, could you just let me down for a little bit?" And not thinking of anything, they do. But this was Tom's plan. At this perfect moment, he just runs off and darts into a mouse hole. The men, furious, try to get him out. They dig in there with a stick and everything. But Tom just teases and laughs at them while he just goes farther and farther into the hole where they can't get him. He's like, "Just go on without me now." The men really mad, with no money, no way to make money, and without Tom, begrudgingly go on their way. So now, Tom goes out, trying to find somewhere nice to sleep, and he finds this cute little snail shell, perfect for him. But before he manages to actually fall asleep, two new people come along. They're thieves, and he hears them plotting their next victim, the place they want to steal. But they don't know how they're going to do it. And Tom pipes in, "Hey, I could crawl in through those bars and hand out everything you want." And they're stunned to see a little guy, but they're like, "Alright, let's do this." So, they go to the place, and they set Tom in, and he crawls in through the bars. But, instead of being quiet, he yells out really loud, "Do you want everything? Do you want everything?" And they're trying to shush him, but he keeps going on as if he doesn't hear them, which is his plan. "Do you want everything? Do you want everything?" And as Tom planned, the cook, sleeping not too far away, wakes up. This scares the thieves off, and they go away without anything, hands empty. They learn their lesson. But before the cook can find Tom, he just hides off in a little corner, because he's so small, and so the cook doesn't see anything and goes back to bed. After this, Tom finds a nice little haystack to finish his rest in. This wasn't a really good idea. The next morning, he wakes up in the mouth of a cow eating him, along with the hay. Before you know it, he ends up in the cow's stomach, although he thinks he's in a room with no windows. And hay keeps coming in, and he's like, "No more hay for me! No more hay for me!" While, what do you know, a maid happens to be milking the cow. And she gets scared. She doesn't know what's going on. She goes and gets her master. And the master sees this, a talking cow. And all he can think is a spirit has come into the cow. And the only way they knew how to deal with this, of course, back then, was to kill it. So that's what they do. And so they kill it, and Tom is about trying to crawl out of the stomach, but trouble befalls him again. Before he can manage to crawl out of the stomach, a wolf comes along and eats him along with it. So now he's in another stomach. But Tom's got this time. He has a plan. He tells the wolf, "Hey, I know of a place where you can eat to your heart's content." And the wolf's like, "All right, where is this?" So Tom tells him how to get to his parents' storage room. And he tells him all you have to do is crawl in through this little drain. So that's what the wolf does. And he eats until his stomach is bulging out here. So then once the wolf is content and done, he tries to crawl back out through that little drain, but he's eaten so much he can't fit out anymore. And at this point, this is when Tom starts yelling again, making so much noise. And the wolf's like, "What are you doing? Be quiet or we're gonna get caught." Well, of course that's Tom's plan. And before long, Tom's dad comes in. And when this does, Tom's like, Dad, let me out, I'm in the wolf's stomach." So the dad hits the wolf really hard on the head, kills him, and then he takes scissors and cuts Tom out. And Tom is reunited with his family again. There's much rejoicing. And Tom tells them of his adventures, of how he saw the world, and how he taught a couple people some lessons along the way. The end.